Hello and welcome to the Writer's Cabin. Tonight's topic is how to write description, in particular how to write nature description and to do it by showing, not telling. And the way we do that, one way to look at this is cracking open words. Now, what I mean by cracking open words is lazy writing would be to go, oh, it was stormy outside, okay, and just assume that that said it all. That's telling. I'm telling you, oh, it's stormy, and you can just imagine, it's windy, raining, that kind of thing. But the problem is that doesn't really put the writer in it doesn't really put the reader in the picture. It doesn't bring the storm alive. It doesn't make this storm unique from other storms. It doesn't entertain. So what we want to do is crack open the word storm. Storm it's telling. It's just a general word. And so we want to get specific and show this storm. So let's take, for example, a storm at sea in Alaska. Let's just, I'm just going to give you an example. I could get, I was on the ship, it was stormy. That's fine, but you could occasionally do something like that, as a reminder. But you want to bring the reader into the story, let them experience the story as if they're there, put them in the picture. And so we want to go a little beyond just telling. For example, by the way, I don't pretend that what I'm about to read to you is well written. These are just examples, and this would be by no means finished copy, but it would be perhaps a rough draft, very rough. The ship, the gray ship, rose and fell on the huge waves. I heard pots and pans banging around in the galley. The smell of smoke filled the hallway. Freezing spray flew across the deck and slapped my cheek. Furious winds blew streaks of foam in the gray water. So there you go. Those are just some specific examples where I'm showing the storm, because each one of those are something that a reader could imagine. When they hear wind blowing streaks of foam across the gray water, they could picture that. And that's different than, let's say, a sandstorm in the Mojave Desert. So if I go, it's stormy, that's not going to be very specific. Let's take the forest. Let's say I'm going to describe the forest. I was walking through the forest. That's not going to cut it. That's telling. Better to get more specific. Put the reader in the picture. The sweet smell of pine trees filled my nostrils. Notice I'm using active verbs. That's one of the keys here. What happened here? Something filled my nostrils. What was taking the action? Was it me walking? No. The sweet smell was doing something. What was the sweet smell of pine trees doing? Filling my nostrils. Now, when we reverse the order of the sentence there, what it does is it creates active sentences that readers can sort of imagine, and it tends to bring the environment alive. An eagle's cry broke the oppressive silence. Long drops of water fell from the tree branches. Pine cones littered the ground. I ate huckleberry, but found it tart and sour. I felt sticky sap on my fingers. Now, where did I get these ideas? Well, I spent a lot of time, my whole life pretty much in the nature. So I just came up with this on the spot. I didn't even have to be in nature to write these. But being in nature is also a great way to write it. How about let's leave nature and just take these same skills and put them in a non-nature setting, like the theater. Let's say the theater. I could smell the popcorn. I eased into the soft chair. The lights went out, and for a moment it was black. I heard the sound of test music. I heard the sound test music. This is rough draft stuff. The screen lit up with a car chase. Anyway, getting specific, flashing specific details like that can get it going. In this case, that has a lot of work to go. But yeah, so there you go. Showing, not telling, cracking open words. Don't tell me it's a storm. Show me it's a storm. Show me the waves curling up and crashing down on the decks, smashing against the crab pots. And by the way, the same thing. I used to work on a ship in Alaska, so All this was done from memory of real storms I was in. I heard the pots banging around. I could have gone a lot more detail, but I was keeping it brief here. So yeah, there you go. Crack it open words. Hope that had some ideas for you. So there you go. And good night from the writer's cabin. Right on.